Hey guys, this is Nico and I'm gonna make a tutorial on how to run Facebook retargeting or remarketing ads, right? I've seen some of those videos and like all those people, they teach you where to click and how to access the custom audiences, but they don't give you like the fundamentals. They don't give you like the bread and butter of like Facebook ads retargeting. And whenever I see like some of those people running their retargeting ads wrong, they're just like losing a lot of money. And I know that for sure because in the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, I've built so many Facebook ads retargeting campaigns that you just won't believe it. Right now, I have, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6, 7 ad accounts in different niches, like running retargeting. And retargeting is like extremely important to your success advertising online. If you do retargeting wrong, you're just, I don't know, I don't want to say it, but it's pretty bad. I'd say it's super bad because it's easy to do it the right way, but I see a lot of people doing it the very wrong way. And I'm gonna open my computer because I have one of those videos right here. And the topic for today, Facebook retargeting ads tutorial 2022 beginners to advanced. Whoa. I'm just gonna remove the 2022 because it's gonna be like forever, ever, the retargeting, because we're gonna focus only on fundamental principle. And why should you listen to this dude with a beard and this dude who has like a weird accent and you don't know where I'm from? By the way, type in the comments where do you think I'm from? All right, and don't say Louisiana. All right, and so here, this is like one of my ad accounts. I won't mention the name of the client. Some of those campaigns are currently running. This campaign is currently running. But this ad set delivered 209 website purchases and the cost per purchase is $27. This campaign delivered 96 purchases and the cost per purchase is $34. This campaign delivered 91 purchases and the cost per purchase is $87, but this is not a remarketing campaign. This is a remarketing campaign and this is a remarketing campaign. So 45 purchases at like 30 per purchase. This is pretty good. Here the product is around $300. So those campaigns are super profitable, you know. We're making some money with those remarketing or retargeting ads. And in order to make your advertising much more successful, you need to understand how remarketing works, because if you don't understand it, this is what's gonna happen to you. You know, they have this phrase in English. I'm not a native English speaker, but people say, you say, Americans, English people, Australians, whatever, New Zealanders, you say money down the drain. And if you don't do your remarketing, this is what happens. You can see a bunch of money, and this is a drain, and they're all going down the drain because you don't know how to set up your remarketing campaign properly, you know. And in order to set up your remarketing campaigns properly, make sure you watch this video to the very end, because money down the drain means on the way to being lost or wasted, disappearing, you know. So having like a bad remarketing campaigns is just kind of like doing magic with your money, and they're disappearing and you don't know why. But if your Facebook ads are not working, like there is like a 50% chance that you're not setting up your remarketing campaigns properly. And I'm gonna say it. So I have some key points, like some bullet points. If you're not doing your remarketing the right way, you're losing money. If you do it the right way, you're gonna cut your advertising cost because your advertising will become much more effective. If you do it right, you're gonna increase the sales and leads for your business. You're gonna make a bunch of money at the very end, and you're gonna spend less on Facebook ads. And also you're gonna understand how advertising works, right? So right now I'm just gonna open my browser and I'm gonna get back to it. Like, in order to have Facebook remarketing or retargeting, you need to like set up your Facebook pixels. In order to set up your Facebook pixels, you just need to watch another tutorial. There are like a bunch of tutorials. I won't spend time on that. It's pretty simple to set it up. step-by-step instructions. In order to see if you have the Facebook Pixel Helper, you need to download Google Chrome and you need to download the Facebook Pixel Helper extension, you know. So this is the Facebook Pixel Helper in Chrome. All we need to download Google Chrome, it's free. Add the Facebook Pixel Helper, it's free again. And once you visit your website, you're gonna have this thing here. It says Facebook Pixel Helper. And if you see that your Pixel ID, that means you have a Pixel. And that means you'll be able to set up some remarketing campaigns or retargeting campaigns. They work the same way. So how remarketing works, right? Let's say I go to Facebook, right? And I have the Facebook Pixel on my website or on any other website. I'm just gonna open my Facebook, right? And just imagine I'm browsing my Facebook feed. You won't see that I'm browsing right now, but I click on an ad. Let's say this is the ad. I click on an ad and I go on this website. So what does the Pixel Helper, the Facebook Pixel do? The Facebook Pixel Helper matches this visit with my Facebook name, right? So the Facebook Pixel understands that this person having this Nicovel Facebook profile visited this website, nvmarketing.net, right? So this is what the Facebook Pixel Helper does. It kind of saves my visit. So it's not like a magic, it's just basic technology, because on my website I have the Facebook Pixel installed and the Facebook Pixel is owned by Facebook. So it's kind of a piece of code that Facebook provides me with in order to track how many people are visiting my website. And I know who those people are. I don't have their data, their names and emails, but I know that Facebook knows who visits and who doesn't, right? And this is super, super simple to understand. And this is how remarketing works. So if you don't understand anything from this video, if you have an online business, if you're selling some stuff, if you have websites, pause this video immediately, right now, and go set up your Facebook pixels. Just do it. Just do it right now. Okay. And whenever we talk about remarketing, right now, we're talking about audiences, right? Audiences. So we have the audience of people who visited the main website. I can create an audience of people who visited my blog, I can create an audience of people who visited my contact page. So those audience I can create. I can create an audience of people who visit my Instagram profile. I can create an audience of people who visit my Facebook page, right? And then I could use those audiences and I can remarket to those audiences, Okay, let me close that. Another thing, can I use YouTube to create audiences for Facebook? No, because YouTube is owned by Google. But if I use Facebook, I can create Facebook audiences and Instagram audiences because Instagram is owned by Facebook. As simple as that. And in order to understand how remarketing works, you need to be aware that whatever you do on Facebook, you're marketing to audiences, right? So audiences, I'm gonna spell it wrong, of course. And I'm just gonna make it bigger. And you have a bunch of audiences you can target. This is not how we spell audience. Let me see if that's the right spelling. So, oh yeah, I got it right. In order to make your advertising work, you need to understand audiences. And on Facebook, you have different types of audiences you can target. You can target your website visitors, right? So you can create an audience of your own website visitors. And I'm just gonna click next to show you how it works. You can create an audience of people who visited your website for the last 180 days. Yeah, so pretty much here, this is my website. I can create an audience of everybody who visited my website for the last 180 days, right? And so this is going to be the audience of website visitors. I can also choose to target people who visited a specific page. For example, I can target anybody who visited my blog. And I'm just gonna copy this URL, right? And I'm just gonna paste it right here. I'm just gonna remove the HTTPS. You shouldn't edit. And so, what I'm saying, hey Facebook, create a custom audience of people who visited nvmarketing.net blog for the last 180 days, right? I can do also like some crazy things with this, but this is like the very, very basic remarketing. The next thing I could do, I could create an audience of people who spend the most time on my website. You know, I can target people who spend a lot of time on my website. Those will be my most committed website visitors. And I can create an audience of people who are visiting my website like regularly, you know. And this is the audience of visitors by time spent. And if I like name the audience, I can click create it. I won't do it right now because this is just a tutorial video. And the first type of audience you need to understand, this is like the custom audiences defined by website traffic, you know. And so the first type of audience that you need to understand, I'm just gonna delete it here, create a new circle, website traffic. Let me reduce the size of the text. Website traffic. So those are website audiences. Let me increase the text. Website audiences are one of the best audiences you can create because you can target specific web page, you can target your website visitors, you can target by time spent. So when you create these custom audiences from here, you'll be able to target to those people because those people are very, very hot. They're interested in your business. You can create audience sizes between 1 day and you can go the highest to 180 days. So 1 day website visitor audience will convert much, much better than 180 days. Which one will convert best for you? I'm not sure. You need to test it. Right now, I'm using 14 to 45 days, right? So this works the best for me right now. And the way it's gonna work, you're gonna target your website visitors. And you can create like a bunch of ads to those people. You can create ad number 1, and in this ad, you can say, hey, I know you visited my blog post on like how to grow tomatoes. If you're interested in growing tomatoes, I created this online course that teaches you how to grow tomatoes step by step. Click here to get it, you know, and it's gonna be very, very powerful way to engage with website visitors, and you can do a lot of crazy, crazy things. Super, super powerful. I would like 80% in my campaigns, I'm gonna start from creating like the website warm audiences, the retargeting audiences, and I'll start from there, you know. I'll start from there because those people know about my business, those people know about my website, and this will be a very, very easy way to make some money, okay? The next thing that I wanna talk about, the next type of audience that I wanna talk about, and for the sake of this tutorial. I'm just gonna create it, and I'm gonna name this audience all website visitors. Um, all website visitors. And always I'm gonna uh, add the days. So this is how I'm gonna name it, 180 days. And I'm gonna click create audience. And the audience will start populating. And here you have the option to create a lookalike audience, but this will be something that comes later, you know. So the next audience that you need to understand, this is the Instagram account audience. And I'm gonna click next. Just let me select my personal Instagram account. Yes, I'm gonna select it right here. And I can create an audience of everybody who engaged with my personal, with my professional ad account, you know. So I have 7,000 followers. This audience will be like quite big. And I'm gonna name this audience everyone who engaged with my IG ad account, and I'm gonna name this audience 365 days. 365 days, you know. Because in this case, I'm marketing to people who already know me, you know. Some of those people might like me, they might trust me. I don't say that's gonna be everybody, but a big chunk of this audience will like me. And that way, I'll be able to convert some of those people. So this is an audience that has like a big chance of converting. And if I want to create an Instagram audience, I can go with like different types of audiences. I can create audience of everyone who engaged with this professional account, anyone who visited this professional account's profile. I can target people who saved any post or ad within my Instagram ad account. So there is like a bunch of variations, and like the retention time frame of the audience could go from 1 day to 1 year, 365 days. So it's quite a big chunk. This audience will be slightly bigger than the website visitors, because they're like a bunch of people who would visit my Instagram, but they won't click on my website link, you know. So this is the Instagram audience. Now let's get back. The next audience I got would be pretty much the same audience, but people who engage with my Facebook page, right? So I'm just gonna choose my Facebook page, Digital Marketing Tips and Tricks with Niko Velikov. Again, very similar ways to create the audience. People who currently follow or like the page, anyone who visited the page, people who engage with any any post or ad, people who clicked any call to action within the page, people who saved your page or any post. So those are like the variations you could use. Those are the events you can use to trigger this audience, and you can choose 1 day or you can choose 365 days. And this is the audience of like people. I call those audiences engagement audiences. Engagement, Instagram, Facebook. So if you have to compare these two audiences, website audiences and engagement audiences, which one do you think will convert better? We have the website audiences and we have the engagement audiences. So my personal experience shows that the website audiences convert much better, because like people are going deeper into the funnel, you know. And if I have to map it this way, you know, the engagement audiences, then they move to like the website audiences. And usually the engagement audiences are the biggest in size, because the engagement audiences will include people who clicked or engaged in an ad. So the website audiences will include people who are visiting your website. That means like those people are more interested. So website audiences will beat engagement audiences if we're comparing the same time frames. Next, let's go back to the audience manager. Here you can create an audience based on a customer list. If you're using like MailChimp, if you have like an email list, you can import those audiences into Facebook and you can remarket to those people. It's also a great audience. It converts pretty much the same to website visitors. I'd say slightly better. But in order to make it work, you need to have at least, I think, 1,000 entries. So you need to have like a bigger email list. The bigger the email list, the better. So also, if you have a customer list, upload it to Facebook and try how it works. And I'm gonna add this audience again. And here I'm just gonna name the audience email list. Facebook calls it like a customer list, so have that in mind. In this, I'm just gonna call it an email list. And those are pretty much the three audiences that they use the most, you know. So if you're going into like Facebook ads, make sure you have those audiences created and make sure you remarket to those audiences. The next thing I want to talk about, you can create audiences based on video experiences. For example, you can create audiences based on how people interact with your videos, the videos on your Instagram, the videos on your Facebook page, but I'm not using that audience that much. I'm not sure why. So something happened with like the Facebook. The Facebook broke again. Let's refresh. I'm using the engagement audiences because they include the people who watch the video. But if you have a specific video, this is something that you should be aware of. So you can create an audience of people who viewed at least 3 seconds of a specific video, people who viewed at least 10 seconds, people who either completed or viewed at least 15 seconds of your videos using TruePlay, people who watched at least 25, 50, 75, or 90, 95% of your video. You can use all those like audiences, and you can do this for like a specific videos or a bunch of videos. So this is up to you. So let me find my Facebook page. So I don't have any videos on my Facebook page, so I'm just gonna select my Instagram profile. I think I have like one video. Yeah, I can use this video, and I see that 1,000 people completed 3 seconds of this video. And so if I click confirm, I'll be able to just create this audience. Okay, so this is just like something you should be fully aware of, you know. And usually I won't add the video audience to this list because it's somehow some type of engagement. So it's gonna go under the audience of people who engaged with any ad or post. So you're gonna get those people here anyway. Okay, and in my opinion, those are the three main audiences that you need to be aware of, you know. And whenever you create ads, you should start with these three audiences. And right now, I'm gonna go to like the Facebook Business Manager, and I'm gonna create some audiences. I'm just gonna show how I would create the audiences. It's loading. So In a big chunk of my campaigns, I'm just gonna use uh, conversions. So my ads will be optimized for conversions. I'm just gonna name this campaign, test remarketing. Uh, and usually within my campaigns, I'm gonna run uh, three ads, three ad sets, and I'm just gonna call this engagement. Of course, I'm gonna misspell it. Engagement, Facebook plus Instagram. And I'm just gonna click continue. So, just a quick note here. There are like a bunch of other custom audiences I can create. I can create catalog custom audiences, app activity, offline, events, on Facebook listings, shoppings, lead form. But in my campaigns, I use mainly website, customer list, Instagram account, Facebook page. If you're advertising an app, uh, you can do the app activity. If you're doing like an e-commerce campaign, you can do like a catalog. If you're doing like one of those leads campaigns, you can do just like the lead form. But in my campaigns, it's website, customer list, Instagram account, Facebook page. That's it. And here I'm just gonna show you the basic structure behind my campaigns, and I'm gonna show you how I budget those campaigns. Because if you don't do your budgeting properly, you're just gonna waste your money. Oh, not here. So let's go here and let's create the test campaign. Yeah, so the first audience I said would be like Facebook engagement plus Instagram engagement, you know. And usually here I'm just gonna choose like a basic conversion event. So submit application is the only one I got. And I'm just gonna leave the budget to $1, and I'm gonna show you how to budget your audiences at the very end of this video. Here I'm gonna click submit application, and here on like locations, usually that's gonna depend on you. If you advertise if you wanna advertise in United States or United Kingdom, you can just select the location that most applies to your business. Here for this tutorial, I'm just gonna do worldwide. That way, I'll target like anybody in the world who visits my Instagram, who is engaging with my Facebook and Instagram. So when it says like audiences, custom audiences, so show more options. Let me scroll a little bit down. Let me scroll a little bit down. It's slow for some reason. Custom audiences. Here, I'm just gonna select anybody who engaged with my Facebook page and anybody who engaged with my Instagram page. And here, I'm gonna do an exclusion. I'm gonna exclude everybody who visited my website, you know. That way, I'm gonna target only the people who are visiting my Facebook page and everyone who is engaging with my Instagram. But I'm also excluding all the website visitors. And for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm gonna say that my Facebook audience is like, let's say 20,000 people. I'm gonna say that my website visitors is, let's say, 4,000 people. I'm gonna say that my email list is like 1,000 people. And I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna budget those audiences. Because if you don't budget those audiences properly, you're gonna waste a bunch of money. And here I can also exclude the email list. I don't have email list uploaded, so you can add your email list here if you have it. And I'm just gonna, whenever I create those campaigns, usually I do like 365 days. I would be, I would enter the name, the time frame in the ad set name. So I'm gonna click next. Here, I'm gonna just create like a super basic ad. I'm gonna type in the URL. Let's see if this is going to work. In my remarketing campaigns, I would usually have 1 to 5 ads, ideally 4 ads, but for this tutorial, I'm just gonna do 1, but make sure you're adding like more. So I'm just gonna click publish, right? And I'm gonna close this right now. I'm gonna turn off this campaign because it's just like a test campaign. And this is like the first audience I've created. Engagement, Facebook plus Instagram. And I'm gonna create another campaign, another ad set, and this will be the website visitors plus plus the email list. And I'm gonna name this website 180 days plus email list, you know. So here, targeting worldwide, and I'm just gonna, in the include your audience, I'm gonna do include this audience. So I'm targeting all website visitors, and here I'll add the email list. So I'm just gonna click add the email list, right? There are some people who exclude purchase users. I don't like excluding purchase users because usually the purchase users are a small chunk of my campaigns, and it's very hard to like exclude purchase users. So usually I try not to exclude purchase users because in many cases people who bought would be commenting under my ads, oh, it's a great product, I just bought it, that will build social proof. And whenever I exclude people, some of my ad sets have limited deliverability. So the Facebook algorithm won't show your ads to people who already bought because the Facebook algorithm is too smart and they already know who bought and who didn't. Whenever you're advertising whenever you're optimizing your ads for like different objectives, Facebook knows the objective and they tend to show the ads to people who are more likely to complete your marketing objective. So I know it's kind of like a huge discussion. Should you exclude purchase users? Should you exclude buyers? When it comes to buyers, no, I don't like to exclude those people. If it's like some other marketing objective like leads or maybe like somebody else, you could exclude it. But if we're talking about money, buyers, I don't exclude them. Some people consider it a mistake, but I don't like excluding the people. A lot of people will say, but hey, you're wasting like a lot of money on like targeting those buyers. But think about it. Your buyers' audiences for the last 180 days is like how many people? Like maybe like, I don't know, 8,000 people. 8,000 people. How big is this audience for you? How many people bought from you in the last 30 days, let's say? Is it like 8,000 people or more like, I don't know, 100 people? Basically, one of those like 100 people, if like a few of them engage with your ad, help you build social proof, you're gonna generate a few more sales, so you won't waste any money. And like reaching 100 people or 8,000 people on Facebook is extremely, extremely cheap. So have that in mind when you exclude your audiences. Okay. And I'm just gonna click publish here. So in some cases, you can split test. You can have like the website visitors and the emails in the email list in another audience. If you are targeting like a sales page instead of the website, you can target the specific sales page here, and you can have like and you can do it like in a different way. You can use like ad set budget optimization. You can use campaign budget optimization. This is all up to you. Both work. I've tested both. But this is just like a super basic remarketing campaign. If this remarketing campaign doesn't prove profitable for you, you can reduce the time frames. You can go for like 30 days, 45 days, 14 days, 1 day, 7 days, 5 days. You can play around with it. But we're going to something like very, very important here right now. So we know that like audience, the engagement of the Facebook people is 20,000 people. We know that the website audience is like 4,000 people, and we know for sure that the email list is like around 8,000 people. And how do you check the size of these audiences? If you go to like your Facebook business, and if you go to audiences, you'll be able to see the size of some of your audiences, not every audience, but still you're gonna get some decent like estimate of how big are your audiences. And here we have the engagement Instagram and Facebook audiences for 365 days, and the size is like 20,000, but we've excluded the website and the email list. So here we're targeting approximately 15 people. The targetable audiences, or the audience that we want to reach after the exclusion, is around 15,000 people, right? And if I go to my Facebook and if I select the maximum reach, there is something called cost per 1,000 people reach. And let me find it. Yeah, here in this ad account, I haven't run a lot of ads, but the cost to reach 1,000 people is 29 cents. It's super cheap, but for the purpose of this tutorial, we will assume that it cost us $1 to reach 1,000 people. So here we need to reach 15,000 people. 15,000 people. So there is this thing called CPM calculator that I use to calculate the size of my audience. And here I need to serve 15,000 people. I need to reach 15,000 people. The cost per, it says impressions, but let's say the cost per 1,000 people reach is $1. So I need to spend $15 to reach the whole audience, right? Do you understand this mathematic? $15, you know? So the cost for me to reach those 15,000 people would be, let me do another thing. So anyway, I'm just gonna do it like this. So the cost to reach the audience once is $15, right? But in order to make my advertising effective, I'll aim to reach this audience monthly, per month, for the next 30 days, at least 4 times, let's say. So in order to reach the audience effectively 4 times, I'm gonna multiply $15 4 times, right? And this is gonna be $60. So my monthly budget that I need to spend on this audience would be like $60, you know. So let me open my calculator. So I said $60, I need to divide by 30, and the daily budget would be $2 to reach this audience. So I'm gonna go to my business manager and I'm gonna do like this. Two per day to reach the audience, to reach the audience 4 times for the whole month. And I believe this is like a good remarketing strategy, because if you go more or less, you're just gonna waste a bunch of money. So I'm gonna go to my ads manager, I'm gonna open my audience, and I'll set the daily budget to $2. So I'm gonna go back to performance and I'm gonna do like $2. You know. Okay. The next audience I have is the website audience plus email list. This audience total is like 5,000. So 5,000. I'm gonna do it 5,000. And again, I'm gonna go back to my Facebook ad account. I'm gonna do delivery. And here I'm gonna check the price. I'm gonna check what is kind of like the average price to reach 8,000 people. Because this audience is like very warm. These people are interested, so I need to make sure I reach them at least 4 times per month. Here, let's say for this marketing tutorial, let's say this audience would be like slightly more expensive. Let's say it's gonna cost like $25 to reach the audience once. And I'm gonna calculate the total cost of the campaign. So it cost me $125 to reach this audience. If this audience costs $25 to reach 1,000 people. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna say that I need to spend $125 to reach this audience. And let's do the calculation again. So I need to reach this audience 4 times. So I'm gonna multiply it by 4. And I'm gonna go to the calculator and I'm gonna do 125 multiplied by 4. And it's gonna be $500 to reach the audience once, you know. And in order to reach this audience 4 times, I need to spend $500. So how much would it cost to advertise per day? What should be my daily budget here? Let's see. So I'm gonna go and divide 500 by 30. And my daily budget should be like $16 per day. You know, so I'm gonna go to Facebook. I'm gonna go to performance again. And I'm gonna set this audience to be $16 per day. You know, that way I'll ensure I'll reach the whole audience. And like, this is how I think about my campaigns. This is how I calculate my audiences. This is how I populate my audiences. It's like pretty simple once you understand it. Also, in order to get to like the cost per 1,000 people reach, you need to select delivery. In order to see something here, you need to be running ads. But this is my very, very basic way to calculate audiences and exclude audiences. This is the advanced stuff where you calculate how much to spend on a specific audience, because when it comes to budgeting warm campaigns, people just don't know what's happening. They don't know what they're talking about. So this is my remarketing. Usually if you run cold campaigns to cold audiences, you need to be fully aware of how big are your warm audiences, because if you don't reach those people effectively, you're gonna lose those buyers. You're gonna leave a lot of money on the table. If you're spending a lot of money on your remarketing, you're wasting a lot of money, because your advertising will be with the same effectiveness if you spend less. So make sure you recalculate your audiences, make sure you're fully aware of the size of your audiences, and restructure your remarketing campaigns. Also, um, I didn't talk about the ads creation, but this is like a longer video. But usually, what I like to have, as I said, 4 different ads, and those ads are for people who are already visiting specific pages. So some of those ads would be like, hey, I know you, I see that you started like buying this product, but something happened. Click here in order to complete your purchase. Something along those lines. So yeah, this was my Facebook ads remarketing tutorial, beginner to advanced, and this is the advanced stuff. This is what separates like a Facebook ads professional to somebody who is complete beginner. So make sure you calculate your audiences, make sure you know approximately how much you are spending, and that way you have a much more effective advertising campaigns, you know. And this video is around 50 minutes long. I don't know what's happening. I just really like making those screen share videos. Um, but yeah, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you comment below if you have any questions. If you're an entrepreneur who runs an online business, and if you want to increase your sales using Facebook ads, YouTube ads, make sure you check the links in the description, because I help entrepreneurs generate more sales using Facebook ads, YouTube ads, and automated marketing systems. My name is Nico. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna talk to you soon. Bye now. Have a great day. Bye bye. Bye.